this is going to be a cross-cutting research, which is on basic nutritional sciences, laboratory work. And this is going to also inform the country in a number of issues, including those in nutrition, agriculture, and even other sectors. So we just wanted the PS to witness that this process is also going on. And so, Bwana PS, we are going to sign this with Professor Nguka. Professor Nguka will sign on behalf of ANSRC. I will sign on behalf of KNDI. Now he no longer becomes the KNDI accreditation chair in this context. And so we will just do it in simple terms as a symbol. And we want as many as are happy for this to give us a thumbs up, including those online. And this will lead to production of PhD students, master students, and also research that is going to be a solution. For example, we were all just about to say that we are looking at the cotton value chain, and we want to see what can we do with the cotton seed, for example. So from production, we know income, and from the seed itself, we know oil, and we see nutrition coming in handy in cotton value chain, and animal feeds also. So this is an area that we can start early and do research. So thank you very much. It will just be sitting here, and we demonstrate, then Professor Nguka and myself can now follow each other in the office, and we finish the business there. Thank you very much. So is our witness. I'll give you a chance to talk on behalf of ANSRC, and then we'll see how far. Thank you very much, Yes, the chief guest. Today's a beautiful day because we have seen the value chain moving from lower levels using the training curriculum to higher levels now doing cutting edge research, most of which have been done outside the country. Now we want to bring it home so that we are able to conduct high-level research. We are able to conduct high-level research in country that is informed by the local evidences and not evidences from Europe and the Americas that is informing here. Even FAO, I'm happy about FAO activities because they are talking about domestication of knowledge. And that is what this has brought to us. So hiking it to research level at master's and PhD is key. And therefore, that is why we have a team here, Dr. Edwardina Ndine, who was formerly actually in Nakosti. And now is out. She's retired but not tired. She's doing a lot of research. We have Professor Bonnie Dunbar from the University of Nairobi. And then we have Dr. You can see it is women power. Those of you can imagine. We have Dr. Ndirangu, that is the director of Columbia Global Center, and also hosting the ANSRC. Now, these staff ladies are here to also witness the signing. I am the chair of the African Nutritional Research Consortium, elected 4 years ago. Now we are ending our first term to be able to begin the second term, if possible, if the consortium will agree. And I think this is one of the best outputs that we are going to have. And we are joyful because we are now going to jointly together with you and KNDI, going to seek for funds to train our people on cutting-edge research, together with FAO. Thank you very much. So we will just demonstrate. Mayor, if you don't, if you allow, I would like to just call Edwardina, because of women power, to say something, and then welcome. Just a short one.
Thank you very much, Bwana PS. And I acknowledge my friend Hamisi. It's been years with him. I've had 30 years in policy. So when I heard Jane talk about the pathways, I was very excited, particularly when you talk of income and you talk of gender. And Bwana PS, when you mention the constraints, they are real. They are real. But we need research because most of those women in the rural are unreached. Their story is untold, it's undocumented. The constraints they face can only be dealt with by technical experts and specialists and a multi-sectoral approach. So I'm very excited. I'm part of this team. I also want to mention in another life, we are also pushing that women cooperatives be facilitated, established and be facilitated. And we are happy to say this is where we met with Hamisi at the Lake Region Economic Bloc County Governor Summit. So the story is long. We hope that those value chains can be addressed and women can make informed choices. They can have household income and community resilience can be ensured. So we are happy as ANSRC to be part of that story, and definitely we document the story and we'll make a difference, and we hope to work closely through your office. Thank you.
Buona PS, it's an honor to be in your presence and in the presence of everybody who is here today to witness this signing of this MOU. Thank you, KNDI, for your partnership in this process. We look forward to working with you to bring about higher levels of research and engagement not just in Kenya, because the 18 institutions that Professor Nguka is mentioning are not just from Kenya. They are from the East African community. So we'll be having a footprint that is broad. My name is Murugi Dirango. As was said, I'm the director of Columbia Global Center in Nairobi. We represent Columbia University in New York in the region. And let me on that part say that some people who are also have been with ANSRC for a long time and were part of the early days of ANSRC include Professor Richard Deckelbaum, who is at Columbia University, and Professor Deborah Wogomoth. They are also part of this network. Of course, they're in the US, so they would not be here, but they're online, I suspect. Yeah. And of course, Professor Ntambi, he's from Uganda originally, but in Wisconsin. We also have Professor Musia from the University of, is it Dar es Salaam? Yes, agriculture. This is Sokoine University in Tanzania. So this is a regional outfit, I must say. But you know, what you said about, what you talked about today, about the different sectors working together, the idea of breaking silos is very critical, because we've always worked in these vertical silos within our area. And it's interesting when Bwana Hamisi here, Dr. Hamisi, you mentioned that nutrition, you know, where is she? she was bringing the nutrition. You know, so you'd imagine that agriculture and nutrition are very intertwined, but it's very interesting to understand that people are still working in silos. And so this is the effort that ANSRC is going to put into this process, to bring together people, not just in nutrition, not just in agriculture, private sector, even bring in business people to think about, even as they're developing food for the food industry, how are they integrating nutrition information? So we are honored to be here, and thank you very much.
Forgive me if I don't sound like, recently I had hip surgery. I'd just like to go back to Deborah and Richard Deckelbaum from Rockefeller, Columbia University in New York. They have had for many years the Institute of Human Nutrition, which has been rated the #1 PhD graduate program in the United States, which means up there in the world. And they, about 15 years ago, I met with Richard. I've been in Kenya now for some 25 years. And I met with Richard because Deborah and I used to know each other, and in his office, and he was doing nutrition, well, of course, in the Institute, and I was working with the MP Shaw in nutrition and AIDS. And we got together and we said, well, what we really need in Kenya is an infrastructure in nutrition to do basic research. And just one example, I think, of how important research is and where we're going. It's not just about the food we're growing, but things like pesticides and even the plastic products we have are now known to produce estrogens, like things that are causing obesity in children, and it can be passed on through the germline. And those kinds of things, that it's not just what you eat, it's also the chemical exposures. And these are the kinds of things we need to do research on in combination with nutrition and food to look about the whole health picture in nutrition. So I think it's really exciting to see us going this far.
Thank you very much. So you can say we have a whole team. FAO has now joined us, KNDI has joined us. We have the entire Ministry of Agriculture, which we never used to talk. I'm very happy, Bwana PS. Today has just brought in some hallmark that I've never believed. I think God works in very miraculous ways in doing things.